Okay, so I'm out here in my backyard and I'm prepping some panels, and I thought I'd just kind of show you how I'm going about that. So I'm prepping the back side of them right now just to seal them up and to keep them from warping as I gesso the front. I just want to make sure that all that is sealed up, and so let's take a look at what I'm doing. So I'm out here prepping the back side of these panels with shellac. I just happen to have this in a spray can, so that's why I'm using it. Otherwise I would have brushed it. And I'm just putting several coats on and sanding in between coats. And so this is just to ensure that all the sides are sealed up on the panels. I'll be gessoing the other side back in the studio, but we want to just make sure that these won't warp over time. Okay, we're back up in the studio. I've got my MDF board that I had shellacked outside. I went ahead and I shellacked the front as well. The spray shellac actually is 100% wax free. And so because that's the case with the spray, I was able to go ahead and put a coat on the front as well. And now this is fully sealed up and I could put my gesso over the top. So now I'm ready to gesso, and the way that I'm going to do my gesso is a little bit differently. Here's one that I've already done, and as you can see, there's a nice texture to it. And you see some brush marks, and it's got a nice tooth to it. And I'm taking some inspiration from Richard Blades and his way of creating his own gesso. And what he does is he actually takes white acrylic paint and marble dust. I don't have marble dust, but I do have the white acrylic paint, just some cheap stuff here. And I also have some pumice powder. And this works in the same way that the marble dust does. It's got a little bit more tooth to it, but it creates a really nice surface that's got some bite to it and just a really interesting surface to interact with as I start my painting. And so some of this will come through in the finished painting, which kind of adds to the foundation of the story of the painting, which I think is really neat and really fun to play around with. So that's what we're going to be doing here, and I'll show you how I do it. Okay, so first off, I'm going to take my acrylic and I'm going to just put some right over here onto my palette. And I'm going to take just a little spoon and I'm just going to add a little bit of this powder here off to the side. It's probably too much, but we'll see how it goes. And I'm just gonna go ahead and mix this with a brush, just a cheap chip brush. What I'm gonna do is kind of just start to add some of that in there as I kind of mix it in until I get the consistency that I'm looking for. I don't want to have too much of the pumice powder in there because then there's just not enough to hold it all together. But I can always add more acrylic if I need to as I start to mix this in. So that's feeling pretty good there. So we can kind of start to put that in, random brush marks. And one coat is good enough for this because it's pretty thick. And I've already sealed up the MDF, so we're good to go on that. So really I'm just priming this, but it adds a nice texture, if you can kind of see. Got a couple strands in there, but. And then when this dries, I'll give it a little sand so there's not too much. And then I can paint over the top. So you get the idea. I don't want to make this video too long, but this is how I've been doing some of my surfaces to paint on, and it's been turning out pretty good. I think I like it. Here's the finished one, but let's see if I can get in close there. But it's a nice surface to work with.